The pro-net zero animal rebellion caused more disruption across the country. The brave people of Britain take action against them. And the Metropolitan Police target the innocent commuters instead of the disruptors. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel that challenges the mainstream media and the political establishment, from the left-wing nutters to the globalist elite. Let's start the first show of the day by talking about these guys, the animal rebellion idiots. So, we haven't really talked much about this specific group, because we do talk about all the eco-militants from Extinction Rebellion to Insulate Britain and Just Stop Oil. Well, these guys decided to make a case that this is a social issue. This is a global problem when it comes to the ecosystem, and you have to stop eating meat. You have to start eating worms and all the nonsense, right? On the one hand, they claim that they are targeting all of us individually, and then they change their mind and target politicians. For example, they post things like this, saying, we all know that Rishi Sunak has defended and supported the animal agriculture industry. Yeah, that's his job. He's the prime minister. There's an industry, people eat food, and you have to support it. It's not really rocket science. I'm not even a fan of Rishi Sunak, but people were sick and tired of these idiots. They're constantly causing trouble. They go to supermarkets and destroy milk and meat and everything else, and they throw blood at people. They also decided to block the roads, and the people of this country, the commuters who have to go to places, they got things to do, are now fed up. Here they come. So, did you notice at the end of the clip, where one of the protesters started to just basically drag him away so that cars could go through? Because technically, you would say, if you're a logical person, the eco-militants blocking the road, they are breaking the law, and they are also putting people's lives at risk, and their own lives. So if someone tries to drag their chairs and tables and themselves away, just move them. They're literally moving them away. The police, instead of helping the actual commuters, they were actually trying to make sure that the protesters sitting down, they're fine. They're like, are you okay? Do you want water? It makes no sense why they were doing this. But it is important to talk about what's actually going on, because Animal Rebellion, their leadership behind it. Let's talk about who and what the actual organization is and what they've been saying until now. Because this is not the first time they've been in trouble. In fact, they might get away with this as usual. But in the past, quite recently, they had to apologize. They actually had to be forced to apologize for a couple of things. One of them, for example, was in Norwich. So, like, this is the memorial that they decided to completely destroy. And Animal Rebellion had to apologize for throwing paint at this memorial. Because, obviously, it's a disgusting thing to do. And I'm surprised that they actually did apologize, because they were under a lot of pressure. So, this is a statement from them. The paint the street action, actually there's a name for it apparently, last night across the UK was intended to show love and highlight that there is an alternative to the highly destructive animal farming and fishing industry. During the night, a massive misjudgment was made when spray paint was used at the base of Norwich Memorial. Animal Rebellion wishes to express its unconditional apologies for the impact this has had. We understand that the sacrifice of veterans is a great demonstration of love that any individual can offer in service to the country. Animal Rebellion supporters in Norwich would like to personally extend the offer to meet with veterans in Norwich to apologize and work towards a solution to this. Just a fun fact to those members of the Animal Rebellion watching this. I can assure you, the vast majority of the veterans used to eat meat and milk. They used to drink milk. They used to eat steak. They used to have minced beef. They used to have chicken. A lot of them were farmers. A lot of them were fishermen. Oh, no, we can't say fishermen these days. It's fish of them, apparently, according to Sam Smith. We're going to talk about that as well on the channel today. But you do realize a bit of a flaw in the system because they claim to be compassionate. They are taking a different route compared to the others, like Just Stop Oil or Insular Britain. They are trying to have better PR management. But that actually means that considering a lot of their base are in certain Champagne socialist suburban areas, but they also have bases in the countryside, not necessarily the countryside. So like parts of Norwich where they know that if they go and attack the memorial, they're going to lose their own supporters. So they're not actually apologizing because of me or because of you, the people who are already skeptical about them. They know that they still need a bit of donation. They know that they need a bit of support for their own crazy actions. What was it called? The Paint the Streets action. The reason I know that is because of their own website. So let's dig in. Let's find out more about what these people are about. It's quite fascinating, by the way. So they focus on a number of campaigns, Animal Rebellion. On their own website, you can see that there is a thing for university campuses. They want to basically destroy student life. A win for the plant-based universities campaign. So they are mixing the animal compassion nonsense with the climate crisis. So we know that they're not even focused on one issue, because they're mixing everything. They're saying that one of the Stirling University's student union decided to pass a motion to make all the student union outlets 100% plant-based by 2025. And it said, are you students, sign up with the Plant-Based Universities campaign to basically get you to create a mob rule mentality to go to your uni and change everything. Even though there will be some people, some kids who just want to eat meat. They just want to drink their own milk. Not their own milk. They want to drink their milk every morning. But they don't care. Because, by the way, their case is not really about making an argument for the climate stuff either. Because that's also an excuse. Because why? It happens to be every single time, every single individual is also a bit of a Marxist. And they keep talking about Marxism. They keep talking about the communist utopia. What's that got to do with the environment? What's that got to do with animals? There is only one correlation, and that is collectivism. And that is authoritarianism and control freak mentality. So, on their site, they have this donation section. It said, can you donate 1 hour's wage every month? No. If you notice, a lot of people are suffering because of a cost of living crisis, and you expect them to give 1 hour of their wage. So, depends obviously what the wage is, but they have for the campaign 2022 to 2023, they have so far raised £86,586. So I don't actually, objectively, that's not a lot of money, for a so-called national organization that has a lot of members. £86,000 is nothing really. I'm pretty sure they have other financial backers behind them that we don't know about. Those with bigger pockets, with the big green lobby money. But let's focus on what we see publicly on the surface. So they are saying, here's what your support can fund. £50 could pay for a young person to travel to an Animal Rebellion event or training. So that's bad, because that you help them go and block roads. £100 can buy banners to send a clear message calling for a plant-based future. Really? Okay. £500 could help support a volunteer for a month. £500. What do you do with these people? Okay. £1,000 could support an action team for 1 week. I'm very confused about this. I'm pretty sure this is all, they're just making things up, because £500 funds one volunteer, but £1,000 fund the whole team. Something's not right. I think they've got Diane Abbott to do their maths and calculations behind the scenes. Otherwise, it makes absolutely no sense. Anyway, I'm overthinking this. Let's get to the next bit. It says 74% of councils have already declared a climate emergency, yet few are taking steps to reduce emissions embedded within our food system. So they have another campaign, not just with university campuses, but they actually want to go around, and they have managed to get a few councils, local authorities, to completely change everything about their system. Councils are no longer serving food. They don't deal with, again, just normal things that people used to. Chocolate, for example, normal chocolate, not plant-based chocolate. Also, my favorite food is actually plant-based, steak, because the cow eats grass. So it's plant-based, literally plant-based. But they don't want it. They want to completely destroy everything. There's an element of self-Western guilt because a lot of these kids are middle class and privileged. So this is a rebellion against their own wealth and their own class and background and parents. There's an element of politics of envy on behalf of others, by the way, which goes hand in hand with self-guilt. So they will look at one homeless person and they say, well, I'm going to have a meltdown because there's one homeless person in my area, so we have to bring down everybody else, the middle classes and working classes. If you truly cared about that homeless person, you would do something to help them. But they don't actually even care about people because the public line is to go and save the trees and the cows. And they don't actually understand that will mess up with the ecosystem. You do realize if we stop working with these certain animals, species, they will go extinct. If you just let them be, they're not going to survive on their own. But you think that we are just being ruthless. No, the biggest part of farming is also to ensure that the whole ecosystem is stable. But clearly, they don't teach these things at schools and universities anymore. So basic science is out of the window, considering you don't even have to have your own pronouns anymore. So let me know what you guys think. We're going to have a number of other updates for you guys throughout the day. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.